Being is everything. Heaven letter number 5010. August 13, 2014. Where are you going? Where are you going when there is nowhere to go? There is nowhere to go. The concept is illusion. There is no space or place, yet you yearn for it. In the world, life is about movement and all the varied forms of doing. We can say that life in the world is an active verb for which there is always an object. Thus the idea of loss and the gain is born. About life itself in heaven, as life may be seen in heaven, even though I am called the doer, life is being. I am being. Being suffices. Being is not a thing, yet being is everything, just as you are everyone. Numbers are part of the outside world. There is no concept of numbers in heaven. How could there be when heaven is oneness any way you slice it? And, despite all illusions, my children are one. There is no breaking you down into pieces. You cannot be split up. You are not in parts. Life in the world is all about bits and pieces. The world rules haven't paid all that much attention to oneness. Life in the world has been decidedly involved in the material elements of the world, what you can see in front of you, what can be marked, taken pictures of, proven. The world has not been that bent on what is not visible, what cannot be touched, measured, and lies beyond the world and its calculations. The world loves its opposites. It loves its stackables. The world loves all the surface fascinations. This is how it is in the world. It's the nature of the world as it is known. There is nothing aberrant about this, you understand. There is nothing shameful about this. This is not a betrayal. And this is not a waste of world's time. The world loves to doubt all that it cannot grasp on its own terms. And, yet, there is more to life than what is most comfortable and easily accessed by the world. The world is clearly physical, and, yet, the world also is deeply made of the spiritual. If the world were not also spiritual, invisible, silent, vast, why would there be all this to do about the spiritual? By and large, people argue points of view. Why would anyone be adamant that the spiritual is as he or she says and can only be that? Remember the 3 blind men and their perception of the elephant? This is what human beings in the world do. Their perception is not on the whole but on pieces. In the world, there is not a level playing field. There is higher and lower and all kinds of concepts in between. In heaven, God is known as love. That's it. There are no different factions in heaven itself. If there were, the factions would not vie with each other. But, of course, there are no factions in heaven. That's what oneness means. Oneness is. It is not investigated. Who is there to investigate it? It is not possible to dissect heaven. Who would there be to dissect it when there is no separation to begin with? And who would there be to want to listen to a dissection when there is beauty to put your attention on? What could anyone want in heaven that he or she does not already have? When you have vastness, who would want to depart from it? Who in oneness would ever want to be split from its very oneness? In heaven, there is nothing to settle. There is no disparity that has to be put together. And, yet from heaven, souls chose to come down to earth and partake in its dichotomy. You did. You took it on. You participate now. Channeled by Gloria Wendroff. heavenletters.org